Straight out of a sci-fi movie and into reality, the U.S. military wants robots. In today's Big Eye, we want to show you what the future of war could look like. First, let's start with who is in charge of technology developments for the military. That is the U.S. Defense Advanced Research Projects Agency, or DARPA, an agency that is the stuff of mystery novels. And recently, we've noticed they've been beefing up on robots. Most recently, they contracted with Boston Dynamics to create a cheetah robot. Check that out. Look at this drawing. It's a four-legged robot that reportedly runs faster than the fastest human. Boston Dynamics also says it will be able to zigzag and take tight turns in order to, quote, chase and evade. It'll also be able to make sudden stops and could end up with a tail. Boston Dynamics, this is the Atlas, also made by Boston Dynamics. It looks a bit like the Terminator from the movies, but without the head. This robot will reportedly be able to walk like a person, even over rough terrain. We could also see it crawling around on its hands and knees. The Atlas was spawned from Boston Dynamics' work on this robot called Petman.
This aircraft is called the Submarine Launched and Recovered Multi-Purpose Unmanned Air Vehicle, or MPUAV. It's also been called the Cormorant, which is a diving seabird. As a result of the START II missile treaty, the Navy was faced with having to either retire or do something else with 4 of their 18 ballistic missile submarines. And the Navy came to us for our concepts for a wide range of unmanned aircraft that could operate from aircraft carriers or surface ships or even submarines. This idea was unique in that it was the first time someone had thought about the idea of launching and recovering the vehicle while the submarine was still submerged. This UAV concept incorporates a turbofan jet engine and uses that engine like any other aircraft, except that during the launch and recovery phases of the operation, the inlet for that engine, the nozzle, have to be closed off because engines typically don't like to be submerged. The submarines that we designed this concept to go aboard were the Ohio-class ballistic missile submarines, which offers a tremendous amount of volume to integrate both the UAV and its servicing systems. When the submarine releases this vehicle, it goes to the surface like a cork. When it reaches the surface, 2 rocket boosters light off and blast this aircraft into the sky. And during that time, the jet engine started, and after the rocket boosters burn out, they're dropped off, and the aircraft flies off and does its mission. The aircraft uses its stealth and mission planning to penetrate hostile airspace. And once it's in there, it can do a variety of missions. It could be collecting intelligence and reconnaissance on weapons of mass destruction sites. It could be supporting special operations forces. But whatever it's doing, it's using its stealth, its mission planning to avoid detection. When the aircraft comes back, the jet engine has to be shut down, the inlet and nozzle door have to be closed, and the aircraft splashes down and waits for the submarine to come and get it. Then the submarine has to deploy a remotely operated vehicle which takes a cable from the submarine and attaches it to a cable that's dropped from the aircraft. And once those 2 cables are connected, The ROV can go back to the submarine, and the aircraft can be reeled down, pulled down to the submarine like a kite. Our team was very diverse and included aerospace engineers, naval architects, marine engineers, Navy divers, people that support naval operations ashore, and all of us had to come together and to do this, something that had never been done before. And it also was a great example of horizontal integration across the corporation. We were able to draw upon expertise from all kinds of areas, and including the hydrodynamic testing aspects, the ROV operations, and just having them aboard was such a great asset. And I think that it's a unique attribute of Lockheed Martin.
The mission of the Reaper is both ISR, intelligence, surveillance, and reconnaissance, and also CAS, close air support. So not only are we helping ground forces see what they need to see, but if they're in trouble, we have weapons that can support suppressing the enemy forces. We really don't have to fly that high not to be seen. One, because they're not that large, and two, because it's not that loud. It's really amazing. And there's two stations. There's the pilot station and the sensor station. The pilot obviously is controlling the aircraft and the movement of the aircraft, whereas the sensor is controlling the sensor ball and actually moving that to look at different things, zoom in, zoom out. Our video feed is literally being watched by people all over the country and the world. There's people down on the ground really relying on you getting the best picture of whatever they need you to look at. We have the ability to stay airborne for 24-hour periods and tie all these different people into the scene and make decisions very promptly. We're able to have more troops here at home, but at the same time having as much of an impact on getting the mission done overseas.